Yonkeshoek Nature Reserve on the edge of the Eerste River, not far from the bustling metropolis of Stellenbosch, or as the locals call it, Stellies. The Eerste River begins here in Yonkeshoek and then flows down towards the town of Stellenbosch, where it is the water source for the town and surrounding areas. This area itself is extremely species rich. There's over 1,000 plant species, most of which is mountain fynbos, and there's quite a different variety of animals, which include leopard. Yeah, leopard butt. Now, the water here is crystal clear. Come have a look at the river. You can literally drink this water straight out of the stream.
These pristine waters find their source here, in the Yonkeshoek Mountains, and the nature reserve through which the river flows is under the management of Cape Nature, covering approximately 11,000 hectares. The Eerste River itself flows for around 40 kilometers, converging with other tributaries along the way, before ending up in the southern Atlantic Ocean around False Bay. Aside from the elusive Cape leopard, the river sustains an ecosystem here that is inhabited by caracal, klipspringer and baboons. Bird life includes owls, black eagles, to smaller sugarbirds and orange-breasted sunbirds.
Now, this place may seem like a paradise, and between you and me, it 100% is. You may be wondering, how can a guy be talking about pollution when he's been talking about a stream that you can drink right out of, a river that has crystal clear water, or leopards, tigers. There's no tigers here. 1,000 different plant species. Well, downstream from the river that we just looked at, there is a much more horrifying story.
When taking a closer look at the river which flows in the town, we see a much harsher reality. Here the river is already impacted by urbanization, agricultural activities, and waste disposal. Pollution and degradation of the Stellenbosch river systems threatens downstream communities, agribusiness, jobs, and riparian ecosystems within the threatened lowland fynbos. Looking at the water quality in this section of the river, we see a completely different scenario being played out than the one up in the protected portions of the Yonkeshoek Nature Reserve. Ecologically, poor water quality has an adverse effect on the biodiversity in our rivers. Polluted water disrupts the normal balanced functioning of an ecosystem, ultimately resulting in its collapse. And this may have been a contributing factor to the local extinction of the Berg River redfin in the Eerste River. Arriving at another local river, the Plankenberg, we see an example of exactly why we don't need human-induced pollution to win. The Kayamandi informal settlement, sewage pipe leaks, and the Plankenberg industrial areas were earmarked as continuous sources of pollution. Some studies have monitored the types of microbes and chemicals in both the Plankenberg and Eerste rivers. A high variety and extreme levels of waterborne fecal bacteria, protozoa, and viruses were found in the water. It has been shown that specific vertebrates such as frogs and invertebrates like dragonflies are crucial elements of freshwater ecosystems, but it is clear that these polluted areas lack such organisms.
This seems pretty morbid, eh? But is all hope lost? The answer is no. All sectors of society need to come together, and there needs to be more effective conservation management plans. But what can you do? Something that requires minimal effort. It's this. Recycling.
Ben, that's the wrong bin.
Recycling.
Recycling reduces the amount of waste that may get caught up in our river networks. It prevents pollution by reducing the need to collect raw materials, and of course conserves natural resources such as water, keeping rivers like the Plankenberg and Eerste River clean.